Welcome, everyone. Today, we're diving into a topic that's absolutely crucial for modern businesses: how to manage risk and build resilience within today's complex supply chains. Whether you're a seasoned supply chain leader or just interested in how companies prepare for the unexpected, this session will equip you with insights and actionable strategies. Let's get started by exploring exactly what we'll cover in this presentation. Here's our roadmap for today's discussion. We'll begin by introducing the fundamentals of risk management, exploring why it's more relevant than ever in today's interconnected world. Next, we'll move into the heart of the topic: strategies for building supply chain resilience to withstand shocks and disruptions. After that, I'll walk you through real-world case studies of failures and recovery, spotlighting key lessons learned. We'll then turn to the power of predictive analytics, tools that help organizations spot risks before they escalate. Finally, we'll wrap up with core takeaways you can put into action. With that overview in mind, let's kick off with the basics of risk management. Risk management is the foundation of any strong supply chain strategy. As supply chains become more complex and globally connected, they face ever-growing threats, from natural disasters and cyber attacks to supplier instability and geopolitical shifts. Organizations today can't just react to crises. Instead, risk-savvy companies use a systematic approach to identify, assess, and mitigate risks across their networks. This proactive mindset turns risk from a threat into a competitive advantage, protecting your reputation, revenues, and most importantly, your customer trust. But risk management isn't just about defense. It's about building the resilience needed to keep operations moving forward, no matter what comes your way. Now, let's break down the key pillars of supply chain risk. Effective risk management rests on three essential pillars. First, there's risk mitigation strategies like diversifying suppliers, maintaining safety stock, and investing in enabling technologies. These actions help organizations quickly bounce back when disruptions happen, balancing the need for security with cost efficiency. Second is risk assessment. This involves analyzing the likelihood and impact of different risks across your entire supply chain. Leading organizations leverage data-driven tools to visualize their network's weak points, model interdependencies, and prepare for a range of scenarios. Third, we have risk identification, the constant process of scanning for new threats, from cyber attacks to political instability. Proactive identification helps minimize downtime and losses, keeping your business running smoothly, no matter what happens externally. Understanding these pillars sets the stage for building genuine supply chain resilience. Let's now see how these concepts work together in practice. To weather unexpected disruptions, supply chains need agility and flexibility. This comes from investing in adaptable logistics and forming strong, collaborative relationships with suppliers, sometimes even sharing risk among partners. When you build in agility, your organization can quickly reroute shipments or adapt workflows as conditions change. Another key component is real-time visibility, often achieved through IoT sensors and analytics dashboards. With end-to-end visibility, companies spot disruptions as they happen and respond with evidence-based decisions. Scenario planning is also vital. By modeling different crisis scenarios and stress testing your plans, your supply chain teams gain the confidence and adaptability needed to minimize impacts from future surprises. And with digital supply chain mapping, companies visualize their networks in detail, identifying vulnerabilities and proactively strengthening weak points. As you can see, combining these strategies forms the backbone of a truly resilient supply network. Let's talk about the 4 practices that underpin resilience in the face of diverse threats. First, supplier diversity. Working with suppliers across different regions reduces reliance on any single source. This builds in redundancy and keeps goods moving if one supplier or region is disrupted. Second, visibility tools, using technologies like IoT tracking and real-time dashboards to monitor and respond to bottlenecks as they arise. Third, scenario testing, regularly running drills and simulations to make sure emergency protocols and contingency plans hold up against real-world risks. Finally, flexible logistics, adopting warehousing and transport solutions that can rapidly reroute shipments when disruptions hit. Agility here minimizes costly delays and inventory problems. Together, These capabilities equip any organization to manage risks with confidence. To see how this plays out in reality, let's look at some recent high-profile supply chain shocks. Global supply chains have faced unprecedented shocks in recent years, and each event has offered valuable lessons in resilience. Firstly, the COVID-19 pandemic exposed serious weaknesses in just-in-time inventory systems. Companies that could pivot quickly by rerouting supplies, sourcing locally, or adjusting product lines outperformed those that were caught flat-footed. The Suez Canal blockage in 2021 is another powerful example. This incident caused massive delays and financial losses. Leading firms responded by leveraging real-time data and strong communication channels to reroute shipments and reduce the overall impact. Finally, the ongoing semiconductor shortages have hit automotive and electronics industries especially hard. Organizations that had diversified their supplier base or maintained buffer stocks were much better positioned to weather these shortages. Each case underscores why resilience isn't optional. It's mission-critical. The key takeaway from these case studies is clear. The most resilient organizations have mastered agility, digital visibility, and collaborative strategies for mitigating risk. They move quickly to adapt to change, see disruptions before they escalate, and work closely with partners to share resources, and sometimes even share risks. Let's now explore how advanced predictive analytics can move your risk management from reactive to truly proactive. Predictive analytics give supply chain leaders a vital edge. Integrated dashboards combine internal data with external risk signals for a holistic risk perspective. Real-time alerts, powered by IoT and weather tracking, notify managers instantly so they can respond fast. Scenario simulations use supply, demand, and market trends to predict pinch points, allowing resources to be allocated ahead of time. Meanwhile, machine learning unlocks historic data to identify patterns and risk triggers that might otherwise be missed, delivering early warnings and ongoing risk scoring. These advanced tools are reshaping supply chain risk management, transforming it from a defensive necessity to a source of strategic advantage. No strategy is complete without a clear-eyed analysis of your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. For strengths, data-driven risk mapping and cross-team collaboration speed up crisis response and adaptation. On the flip side, over-reliance on single suppliers or delayed digital investments can seriously weaken resilience. Opportunities abound in new technologies like AI, IoT, and real-time dashboards, as well as through regulatory support and incentives to shore up national security. Threats continue to emerge, from geopolitical tensions disrupting sourcing routes to increasingly sophisticated cyber attacks. Understanding your own organization's position within this SWOT framework helps set targeted, impactful investments in risk management. To sum up, resilient, high-performing supply chains are built on proactive risk management, digital tools, and adaptive strategies. The organizations best equipped for today's world are those that treat risk as an integral, strategic part of supply chain operations. Thank you for joining me in this exploration of supply chain risk and resilience. Remember, the future belongs to those who plan, adapt, and innovate.